Dinarland mix of talk recently. First up at KTFA. From Jay, I find it interesting that we are just hearing today, the first day of the Munich meetings, that Abadi is going for one day only, today. Nothing like waiting until the day of the meeting to announce his departure. Then an article comes out saying that the West Side won't commence until Abadi gets back from a meeting with President Trump in the US. No mention of when Abadi comes to our homeland. From Frank 26, it is not new. Your WCC notes told you. Do you honestly believe A will be in Germany for 3 days? Of course not. LOL. Jay says, I have been chewing on that one in particular nugget from WCC, waiting for the ink saying he is going there. With the high hopes that it would only be 1 day, because I love it when you are right. Vipper says, since we have not seen, that I know of, any articles indicating when A will be dropping in on the homeland, US, and given we now know he will be in Brussels for only 1 day out of the 3, I wonder if A will be doing a drive-by into the US on one of those remaining 2 days to visit with T and give a quite trip and get a blessing for pressing the launch button. Then, head on back to Iraq to commence the final West battle, which we have seen say will be done in record time, blink of an eye. Then, it's launch time. From Highly Favored, just a thought in my opinion, Frank likes things in 3, however I like to have fun with this, not seeking a date or a rate, but wouldn't it be great to see A in Munich, then travel to USA to meet President Trump, then back to Iraq, all within 3 days for the announcement of Mosul. That's what I call a trifecta. Again, I am just having fun with all this. From Backdock, last night we were discussing the new asset-backed digital dollar starting to roll out. With the new digital SWIFT upgrades that have occurred, they are now admitting connections to 60 countries with this new digital platform. They said they would be adding more as they go. I made a comment stating we are next, and I want to clarify my statement so there is no confusion. We need to see more publicly about this new digital dollar rollout. This is what I meant on that. Once that occurs, we will then be able to see take place what we all have been waiting for such a long time. Be patient as this process on the digital dollar begins to roll out. The SWIFT announcement is huge because it marks the beginning of the implementation phase. Doc.imo. G. Fulcher, digital dollar being USA's or Iraq's or both. MO, that is what Trump was alluding to being announced next week in the BASIL 111. Backdock, it is very possible that the new dollar will be announced by POTUS next week. The digital dollar is the new US dollar, which is asset backed by our Treasury Department. Doc.imo. From G. Fulcher 66, so here is another example of my dinar goggles. And tell me if I'm wrong. Paul Ryan's conference yesterday. This question started at the 2:25 mark and his answer starts at the 5 o'clock mark, and he clearly talks about the currency adjustment when the question only asked about devaluing of the dollar. Maybe along with what Backdock has been showing us. Walking stick, in Berlin, Iraqi PM Haider al-Abadi pleads for help. Iraq's Prime Minister says the Islamic State can be defeated this year, but only with the international community's help. And, Haider al-Abadi adds, Iraq is open for business. DW's Naomi Conrad reports from Berlin. Iraq open for business. Al-Abadi said he would also very much welcome German airstrikes against Daesh, referring to the US-led international coalition that is bombing IS strongholds. The strikes, Al-Abadi added, are helping us a lot. They are helping our ground troops move forward. Once the current challenge of fighting IS was overcome, Iraq could fulfill its economic potential, Al-Abadi said, stressing that his government was trying to diversify its economy, which was overly dependent on falling oil revenues. Iraq, Al-Abadi said, was open for business. We want foreign companies to put their money into our country. From Doodlebug, we know. Come on, man. Pull the trigger already. From Michelle, I just realized that this article is dated June 2, 15, but Iraq is open for foreign companies. I see from Doodlebug's post that Abadi will be speaking tomorrow at 5 p.m. and hopefully back on a plane to announce something on Sunday. Teehee. Clytus, Iraq is open for business. Yeah, baby. This screams of international rate. From Delta. The true rate should show up on the CBI website any day. That website has been empty, the remittance of their auctions and the rate. Yes, it's been empty. The remittances are a wire transfer. They used to have a manual form. In the past, if I wanted to send you $1 million, I would have to fill out this form, give it to the CBI, with 24-hour notice, etc. Now, because of IBAN, for the last 6 to 7 days, the CBI doesn't have to do things manually anymore. All electronic. We're just waiting for the new rate. Saddam manipulated the numbers. Dr. Shivaibi, he said that wanted to get around $2.80. The rate, if you go back to the 70s and 80s, it was $2.80. $2.80 was planned by Shivaibi and the CBI a long time ago. From Firefly. Article, Monday, January 9, 2017. CBI adopts IBAN system. So as we can see, the banks in Iraq are prepared. Yep, just when are they gonna do it? We're just going to wake up to it. Nobody knows the implementation date, but I believe we are closer than we have ever been. Hoping right after Mosul. I don't believe Mosul is an issue any longer. Mosul will never be 100% secure. But, is it secure enough at this juncture to move ahead with the reforms? My opinion is yes. It would be real fascinating if the CBI would show an international rate. They will, but it may show on the Arabic side first, in my opinion. From Blue Wolf Tidbit, recently. 1. It has come to my attention that the ZIM is lurking around the $1.70 rate. 2. This is a floating rate, so one can expect a little more to be added. 3. This has not been confirmed, but resonates with what I have been hearing for months. 4. With that rate we are looking at 170 trillion per bill, which would signal an adios to that sovereign rate gizmo. From Bruce. We are in good a position that a lot happened to get us to Tuesday and a lot happened to get to us where we are now. A lot has happened the last 24 to 48 hours. What we heard is what we are going to call early exchanges on Vietnamese dong. A few weeks ago same type thing going on with the dinar. My understanding, this is it. The dinar was done. The dong was exchangeable at lower rates, which I know were 39 cents to 56 cents per dong. These exchanges went on for 23 hours and 35 minutes. Then they stopped abruptly. The opportunity was a short window today for a reason. Note: Bruce has never been right yet.